There is a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. Looks like it's going to pass the Senate. Now, there also is a $3.5 trillion budget plan that they also want to get passed. And it looks like Nancy Pelosi will not agree to the first infrastructure plan unless the budget plan is also added in there as far as the Senate voting on that. So we're going to have to see if those are going to pass, because I believe the $3.5 trillion budget plan is going to add in more stimulus. It's going to extend a lot of the programs that are happening right now. A lot of people have been asking about, people are getting these child tax credits, but what about people that don't have children anymore? And I get it. I think that's where the new stimulus plan is set up. They're trying to get this reoccurring payments going out to everybody, and they're trying to just iron out the details of how they can get that processed and how they can get that done. So we do have this infrastructure bill that's ready to get going. They're going to pass it, but they have to get this other bill done through the Senate also. Right now, there's a 69-30 votes. There was enough Republican votes. You need 60 votes total. And if you can get 50 Democrats, obviously, to vote on this, then you have the other 10 of Republicans that have to vote. And they did get, looks like, another 19 Republicans to jump on board with this. That's good news. That's good news for moving that forward. But the $3.5 trillion budget plan, that's what Nancy Pelosi says she wants to get passed, both of those bills together. The budget plan is probably going to have the American Families Plan in there. But right now, the infrastructure plan is going to have roads, bridges, waterways, improved internet access. These are definitely the places that people should be jumping into if they're looking to change careers, if they're looking to get something new. Jumping in front of these industries where the government is throwing a ton of money at them, that's definitely a good place to be as far as unemployment goes. But the $3.5 trillion budget plan is going to, part of it is military spending. Most of it is keeping the government going. And a lot of it's hopefully is going to add in maybe a reoccurring payment to that. So that's a ton of money. $3.5 trillion is just absolutely insane. If they can get both those plans approved, that means the government's going to spend close to $5 trillion over the next, 3 or 4 years. It's mind-boggling the amount of money that they can just continually print, borrow, and then just spend into the economy. I think at some point they're going to have to rein that in somehow. They're going to have to bring that down so that you can't continue to keep spending all that money. But for right now, it's good, I think, for getting more stimulus out.
If you got 6 hours of sleep, 5, 4, 3, okay. All right. Anyway, I hope everyone got some sleep. I got a little bit, not as much as I'd like, but good. So this was one of the most significant legislative days we've had in a long time here in the United States Senate. But we still have a long road to travel. It's as if we caught a nice long pass at midfield, but we still have 50 yards to go before we score a touchdown. But it's still good to make that pass and make that advance. What we saw yesterday is very simple. The American people's votes matter, and Democrats are working hard to keep the promises we made to the American people when we won the majority. Earlier this year, as you know, we passed the American Rescue Plan, which helped put checks in people's pockets, shots in people's arms, and save small businesses and our economy. Now we're going from rescue to recovery to make the economy, to make the American people's lives even better than it was before, because there were so many structural problems in our economy, and there became a sourness in the land that we very much want to remove. The two-track strategy, which I outlined earlier this year, is moving full steam ahead. When I first said we were going to pass both the bipartisan infrastructure bill and the budget resolution before we broke for the August recess, many said it was an impossible task. But Democrats in the Senate are determined, fiercely determined, to move President Biden's Build Back Better agenda forward. Sometimes it took a little prodding. It took working weekends, late nights, cloture motions. But we kept working at it. I kept prodding the bipartisan group to go forward, pushing them when they needed pushing, giving them more time and breathing space when they needed more time and breathing space. And that bill passed yesterday. But now we have to keep working at it, and I'm very pleased to report that the two-track strategy is right on track. As I said, first we passed the bipartisan infrastructure package with all 50 Democrats and 19 Republicans. Every Democrat voted for both the bipartisan bill and the resolution, the budget resolution. Every Democrat voted for both.
A lot of good things happening with the stimulus. I know a lot of states are jumping up right now. You have California. There is this new $2,000 petition. This is something that Change.org has been pushing for. This is going to put a lot of pressure on Congress to get something reoccurring going. They're looking to try to get $2,000 monthly payments for adults and then $1,000 for children on a monthly basis. They want to use some type of automatic stabilizer so that if the unemployment rate rises, then those checks will go out. If the unemployment rate falls, those checks would maybe go back. So it's all based on the unemployment data. If the unemployment's looking good, they may not send out checks. If the unemployment starts to rise up, they might send out checks to everybody. But we'll have to see if they can get this passed using this petition. It doesn't hold any weight as far as Congress and getting that done, but it does show that Congress, yes, there are people out there that want to get these monthly payments, reoccurring payments set up. And if you have 3 million signatures, that's a ton of people that would benefit from that. There's also these thank you payments from the different states. What happened was in the American Rescue Plan, every state received billions of dollars. In fact, there was 350 total in assistance that went out to states. So, for example, you have California that probably received $30 billion in the American Rescue Plan, and then you have another state like New Mexico. I think they only received $1.8 billion. This was all based on the based on the people that live in that, the population that live in those states. That's how the money was divided up. But the thank you bonus pages are going a lot to the teachers, people in the education field. This is going to be Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Colorado, Texas, and California. They're all also in Florida is going to be they're giving out checks to frontline workers. I think the police and the fire department are also getting $1,000 bonuses. That'd be another stimulus on top of the $1,400 checks that went out already. If you do live in California, it's good news because there is this Golden State Stimulus 1 and 2. These are, but there was already a payment sent out. I think it was Stimulus 1 if you made less than $30,000. Then they bumped it up, Golden State Stimulus 2 if you make anything less than $75,000. But you have to live in California and you have to be, I think you have to be resident there for at least 6 months. If so, then you can pick up this $600 payment plus additional $500 for families that do have children in California. Good news. I think a lot of the other states are going to start to step up and do the same thing. I think every state's going to have some type of benefits they're going to have to send back to people because they did receive a ton of money. I mean, most of these states are just flush with cash right now. They could turn around and they could spend it back into their states. Right now, there is this American Jobs Plan and the American Families Plan. The American Jobs Plan is that infrastructure deal where President Biden's trying to get people back to work, getting people back into the economy. American Families Plan is going to be set up to help those that do have children. It's also probably going to extend out the unemployment benefits because I think those are going to start to come up and end here pretty quickly. Now, President Biden has said recently that he is open to ideas. Congress is the ultimate organization that has to pass these bills, and then President Biden signs them into law. And a lot of people are thinking, well, it was this president or last president that created these, but it really wasn't. It's just the president signs the bills once they're complete through Congress and basically the House of Representatives and the Senate. They both have to come together on these bills and vote on them, get enough votes, then it goes through the president's desk, and then he can sign it. But Biden right now, it looks like he's kind of on the fence as far as what he wants to do with the next stimulus check. Recently, there was about 7 members of the House and Ways and Means Committee. They made a similar request to try to get monthly payments sent out to everybody. That would be definitely the way to go if they can do it. But they're going to have to pass it, and then they're going to have to let the Treasury send out the payments. Because if they wait for Congress to pass more bills, it's just going to take a lot longer. It's going to take forever. But for right now, most people got stimulus checks. They got the $1,400 checks. If you haven't got your stimulus check at all, you can use the non-filers tool. It's on the Treasury website. You can go there. You just fill out the information, and then they will send you out your check once you file your returns. If you have a bank account, you can add that bank account in there. Also, if you have your address, you can have them send you a check. Now, the child tax credit is something that $3,600 for each child under the age of 6. If you have children, you're going to benefit from this. Children between the age of 6-17 is $3,000. But what they're going to do is they're going to give you half of that over the course of the next 6 months. So July through December is going to be a monthly check, and then you'll get the rest lump sum in next month or next year in March. And then also the federal unemployment benefits, they've been $300, but it looks like they're going to stop here on September 6th. That's when it will end. And Congress usually likes to keep those things moving, so they're going to have to create another bill in order to push that unemployment benefits out. So they want to raise the child tax credit. They want to get this permanent. I think it's going to be through 2025. So that'd be a reoccurring payment for all the children that you have. They want to try to bump this wage hike up from $7.25 to $15 per hour. Now, I think most of the businesses right now are already doing the $15 minimum wage, but it looks like the federal government wants to just mandate that $15. That would put a lot of pressure on small businesses. Bigger businesses, they can absorb it, but the smaller businesses are going to have a hard time with that. And also the unemployment benefits, they want to extend that out through, hopefully out toward